Welcome to 100 Games of Fortnite. Most of the games were played in Battle Royale, but a few were Fortnite OG. This was played during Chapter 7 Season 1, and it was actually pretty fun. This concept for the video was inspired by Luke thenotable. Make sure to check him out. Right before we start, if you like where I'm going with my videos, make sure to drop a like and sub. Alright, let's get into the 100 games. Game 1. This was my first game of Fortnite in like 2 years. I dropped tip-top terrace and left with decent loot and a kill. I had terrible aim, but I still got a lot of kills. Look at all these real players. I was running into the storm circle and won. Sure, I won my first game back, but it didn't feel very good because they are all bots. Game 2, I dropped Ripped Tides where I got 2 kills. I then left to Battlewood Boulevard and got 2 clean snipes, some more kills, and some embarrassing misses. I amassed even more kills in the final circle. Most of them were probably bots. It was a 1v1, I shockwaved him into the storm, and he died. 2 wins in a row, let's see if we can get 3. Game 3, I dropped Bumpy Bay, left with some decent stuff, and fought one guy, but he escaped. I later failed to assassinate this guy. I just completely missed my shotgun shot. I got in a fight with a guy, fled to heal, then absolutely shredded him. It was a laid back game, and then it was a 1v1. I saw the guy, I got high ground, and then he got stuck in a river. From there I easily downed him and finished him for the win. 3 wins in a row already. These things felt free in the first few games. Game 4, and I'm playing duos with Castiel. We dropped Humble Hills and got some kills. Look at these misses. Like, what is that? We picked up a couple of kills, and nearing the final circle, I still had atrocious aim. Castiel sprayed down the final guy, and we won. That was definitely another bot lobby, but hey, that's 4 in a row. Game 5, we dropped Classified Canyon with a lot of bot kills. There was a fight in Battlewood Boulevard. I got down to 10 HP, but Castiel got him. The storm was coming, so I teleported into the circle, then ran up a hill for high ground, but a man killed both of us with a legendary shotgun. I mean, come on, we couldn't win too many in a row. Game 6, we dropped Clausy Lodge and got some kills, and then took out Bigfoot. We got into a fight with a duo, one knocked me, but Castiel clutched and killed both of them. Then a car with 2 guys pulled up, and we were destroyed. Yeah, real fair, guys. Alright, Game 7, we dropped Latte Landing, got a few kills, then moved around the map and picked up even more kills. We got in a fight with these guys. I got knocked, but I evaded all of their attacks and hid in a bush. The storm was here, but Castiel still got the revive off. When we made it out of the storm, we got into another fight, Castiel died, and a little later, I died too. Game 8, we dropped Battlewood Boulevard, I got some good loot, and we accumulated some kills. Later, we were fighting this guy on the hill. Cass got knocked and I was getting sandwiched, so I flew away. It was down to a 1v2 and this guy just absolutely slapped me. Nice internet there, bro. I evaded their attacks until one of them got in my box, and surprisingly, I knocked him, but the other guy was right there and killed me. Second place is pretty good considering everything. Game 9, we dropped Clausy Lodge. And if you're wondering why the name of the location is blue, it's because I forgot to record this game and had to re-record it after. I actually had to do this for games 6, 9, 12, and 69. Anyways, I got decent stuff, but this one guy knocked Cast, so I went over to kill him, but he killed me too. Yeah, I don't know what the heck that was. Game 10 was a quick one. I dropped 4 fields and Castiel dropped at a nearby place, but not at 4 fields. This guy killed me, and then Cass got killed like 20 seconds later. Game 11, we're playing some Fortnite OG. We dropped Lazy Links, and I got some kills with a gray pistol. I also got a nice pump shot. I left in a golf cart with decent loot. Castiel eventually made his way to the storm circle. I drove up to where Castiel was on a quad crasher, then he died, and then I died to fall damage. I guess they watered the grass before I got there. I just slipped right off. Game 12, back to Battle Royale. I just missed my pump shot on this guy. Soon after, Castiel died too. Game 13, back to OG. We dropped Wailing Woods, but I only started recording partway through. It was a chill game until the final circle, where Castiel was running out in the open. He obviously died, and then I got quick-scoped by a guy with 15 kills. Grass? What's that? Game 14, I started recording late again, but the recording is like 30 seconds long, because once I picked up the purple pump, a duo came, and I didn't even shoot one time. Yeah, I know, we're terrible. At least in OG where all the sweats are. Game 15, we're in OG and 0 build for this one, and we dropped Shifty Shafts. I found an orange vending machine and farmed some materials for really good weapons. We left with very good loot, and in Tilted Towers we ran into a couple of fights. How does a minigun miss every bullet here? What is that? Anyways, these guys crushed me, but Castiel took them out. although the storm was here, so I died, and then the storm started 5-ticking, so Castiel died too. Game 16, we added Noah, and now we're playing trios. We dropped Sus Studios. I ran over to Classified Canyon and picked up a couple of kills. We left with some pretty good loot and killed all of these guys. Then we ran into a bunch of fights, and in the final circle I tried to take this guy down, but I literally can't aim. It was a 3v3, we killed 2 of them, then we waited for the last guy to come out, and we took him down for the win. My first trios win. Game 17, we dropped Clausy Lodge, I took out an entire trio and got some really good loot. But Noah died, so I went to go see if I could kill them, but I suck in 0 builds, so I died and Castiel was soon overrun by them. Game 18, we dropped Painted Palms. Noah died right away and me and Cass took out some guys. We rebooted Noah and took out Bigfoot, and nearing the final circle, Cass was knocked by a guy driving a car. My legendary Iron Pump Shotgun did 89 damage in the head to this guy, which is practically nothing, and so we died. In my defense, he had 11 kills though. Game 19, we dropped Classified Canyon and left with good loot. We ran into a fight and I sprayed down the guy and then revived Noah. I was lagging behind and then Noah and Cass got in a fight without me. I drove over in a golf cart and exited, but the guy was still shooting it. I took him out, but his teammate came. I tried to spray him down, but I died. Man, if I just hit that sniper shot. Game 20, this is a good one. We dropped 4 fields and killed Brutus. I got the mythic twin shotguns. I got some kills and then some guys on a balloon knocked Noah and Cass. I tried to revive them, but they got finished by the guys. I ran away with the teleport mask and barely lived. I was running into the circle and ran into a trio, and somehow I took all 3 of them out by myself. I tried to reboot Noah and Cass, but the storm was coming and it got me down to 1 HP. I eventually rebooted them, but Noah died and then Castiel died. I ran into some guys, killed them, got out of the storm with a total of 45 hit points, and there was a guy there. But I took him out too. It was a 1v1 and I just cracked his shields. I then sprayed him out of the air, but he was far away, and instead of being safe and using the medkit, I decided to chase him down. I didn't make it in time, and he got the self-revive off, so I had to fight him again. I got back up the mountain, shot him once, and we won. That was one of my biggest clutches ever. Game 21, I got 7 kills, but when I was by myself, a trio pulled up, and I couldn't solo them this time. It was only Castiel, and he died in the storm. Game 22, a guy pulled up in a car, and I thought it'd be smart to get in it, but he just drove me to his team, and I was destroyed. From there, it all fell apart, and we lost. Game 23, we dropped Battlewood Boulevard, and it was pretty chaotic. Noah didn't leave alive, and later when we tried to reboot him, we got shot and I was knocked. But apparently reboot vans revive dead teammates. We still lost though. Game 24, we added Easton, so now we're playing squads and build mode. We dropped Clausy Lodge, I fished, and got some pretty good loot. The entire time, Castiel and Easton were getting kills. Look at that, 17 kills already. We picked up even more kills, and nearing the final circle, we had a total of 32 kills. We won at random. They must have all died in the storm. You can hear Easton in the recording because he was talking via the in-game voice chat. Sorry, but that's going to be in all the games that he's in. Game 25, I was fighting a guy. Let's just say we both have questionable aiming skills. I joined the main fight and got some kills, but by this point only me and Easton were left. This guy with the sword broke my builds down, and then another guy killed Easton, and then the sword guy killed me. Game 26, we dropped 4 fields and left with good stuff. I was flying a lot and got shredded. We proceeded to get picked off one by one until I got stuck in this tree and died. Game 27 started like an average Fortnite game. We got a lot of kills, and nearing the final circle, Easton and Cass eliminated so many guys. You can see, I have really good loot, but I didn't even get to use it because Castiel and Easton killed all of them. We had a lot of kills and got the win. Game 28, Noah wasn't sticking with us, and he ended up dead. We got into a big fight, and it ended up with Cass dying because of the storm. The last guy got a reboot off, but they're in the storm, and so we easily killed the rebooted guy, and Easton sprayed down the final guy for the win. Back-to-back wins. I think it's because Easton's in our squad. Game 29 began terribly, but we got the reboot off and eliminated some more guys. This is where the lock-on can be really good. When you have guys flying around with the elytra, you can easily take them down. I sprayed through this guy's wall and crushed him, but then Easton and Noah got crushed. The storm was far, but I had medkits, and then Castiel died. I was teleporting to the circle, and the lock-on proved its dominance. Game 30, we dominated the whole game until the final circle where I got my first kill. Hey look, a lock-on! We continued to dominate and we got a lot of kills. The final guy used a shield bubble, but that only prolonged the inevitable. Game 31. This guy just tried to take me down with the mythic sword. Nice one there, buddy. There was just a solo man helplessly running in, so we obviously pumped his head full of bullets. Again, I used the lachlan to crush men's hopes. The last guy had no chance, and we won. We had a team total of 18 eliminations. I had 1. Game 32, we killed Bigfoot, and when we were running over to Lethal Labs, I insisted we leave, but they wanted to fight, and we died. There's a reason you don't want to pick fights in Lethal Labs. Game 33, Easton left, so we're back in trios and now 0 build. But nobody landed together, so I was gonna have to reboot Cast because Noah left the game. I killed Brutus, but some guys came. Then I got shockwaves out of this chest, which definitely saved me. You don't want to fight me when I have the mythic twin shotguns. I rebooted Cast, but it was all in vain, as we eventually got destroyed. Game 34. These next 8 games have no audio. I don't know how I screwed this up. Now I'm in OG and duos with Matt. It was a bot lobby. I got 13 kills. I'll show them all now. This whole time Matt was lagging because he had bad internet. But yeah, we won. What do you expect? It's a bot lobby. Game 35. Matt was driving a plane and I got a kill. But he was driving it straight at the guys, so I was lasered out of it. Matt tried to reboot me, but he was ballooning around and got killed by this guy. Game 36. I was finished early, but Matt eventually rebooted me. I one-tapped this guy, which felt really good, and we got a few more kills. It was a 2v2. We knocked one guy, but Matt jumped down to finish him. Later I was building up and Matt got killed by the last guy, so it was a 1v1 and I just shredded him. He escaped and later I teleported in to kill him, but I panicked and spammed building and died. Ah, that one hurts. Game 37, back to solos. I dropped Tip Top Terrace and slipped off the roof. This guy must have been wondering why loot just fell from the sky. Game 38, back to duos with Matt. I died right away and Matt rebooted me. We got into a fight at a gas station and one team had more gas. 9 HP. Game 39, we killed Hush and Matt accidentally took the transformation, and if you don't know, you can't drop it. We got into a fight and I died, and when Matt was rebooting me, the storm was super far, so he died, and when I got out, I was at 5 HP with a gray pistol. This right here, this inspired me. Stay tuned for a video along these lines. Yeah, I was being cautious, but I wasn't paying attention to the storm, and that's what got me killed. Game 40, we killed Brutus and left with good loot. The storm was moving and Matt got killed. In the final circle, it was a 1v2. I got into a fight, but while his teammate was up in his builds, I jumped down to kill him, and then he cornered me, but I sprayed through my own wall and he just ate bullets. Eventually, the last guy was stuck in a river, and for some reason I jumped into the river too, but he was down to low health. We both missed a couple of shotgun shots until I landed one for the win. Man, my back hurts from all of that carrying I did. Game 41, we dropped 4 fields, I got 2 kills before a fish killed me, and Matt's internet got turned off. Ha! Nerd! Game 42, I must have realized the audio wasn't recording, because it's back. This game was just like the last one, but in solos. I dropped 4 fields and was quickly killed by a fish. Yes, 1 HP. Gotta love that. Game 43, I got a lot further than the last 2. I was hiding in a bush and this man was not ready for that. And this man, well, he wasn't ready to be shot at. I euthanized yet another man with these shotguns and then there were 4 left in the final circle. With my legendary MK7, I ruined this man's day and later someone broke his knees. So it's a 1v1. We got into a fight, I sprayed through his builds and shot him with the mythic shotguns to prove their superiority. Game 44, I got really good stuff from the classified Canyon Bunker, and I thought I could use it against this guy. But he knows how to deal with the Flex SMG, and so I was humiliated. Look at this guy. Oh yeah, it all makes sense. 12 kills. Game 45, I dropped Bumpy Bay and a lot of people came here. At least I killed the guy who had a shotgun with my pistol. For some reason I was building over this house, and was punished. Game 46, back to duos with Matt. This guy had a shotgun, and I didn't. But Matt took him out and was eventually going to reboot me. But he got disconnected because his internet sucks. Game 47, I killed Brutus, and after a couple of kills, we had really good loot. We got into a big fight. While I was shooting one, Matt died. I was frantically building to live. I shot one and knocked him, and the second guy was trying to use the sword, so he died too. I rebooted Matt, and the lachlan continued to be really good. When I was running into the circle, I teleported right next to a guy on accident. Matt did revive me, but I was easily knocked again. But I did damage him. It was Matt versus him, and well, what did you think was gonna happen? Game 48. This is the one time I dropped Lethal Labs, and this is why. Game 49, the first notable event was killing Bigfoot. We got into a fight with a duo, we killed one, another guy came, but Matt didn't help me and instead finished the downed guy. Matt eventually rebooted me and at least I kept my mythic SMG. This is why this thing is good. I'm just gonna show you clips of it. Alright, a 2v1v1, let's see if we can win this. One of them was chilling in a golf cart, so we murdered him. The last guy was flying towards us and the last shot was with my mythic SMG. A fitting way to end the game. Game 50, I almost killed this guy, but I should have known not to pursue him by the way he was editing. Eventually I got rebooted, but I found out you can't build on this roof the hard way. Game 51, back to solos. I got quite good loot, but at the end of the day, if you miss 7 out of 8 shots, you will lose. Game 52 started off with a couple of nice pump shots. I eventually rushed into this guy's box and killed him, but a guy rushed me and the teleporter hitbox was bugging. Like seriously, how does this happen? I don't want to talk about it. Game 53, I got a few kills and hey look, I didn't miss 85% of my shots in this fight. I was running to the final circle when the lock-on shredded me. This other guy then swiftly euthanized me. What is this, Canada? Game 54, in the final circle when I was fighting this guy, I accidentally pressed the build button, so I didn't even shoot him. Game 55, I dropped Clawsy Lodge. I only had a gray pistol and this guy has 5 Fortnite girlfriends. Nah, just kidding, he died too. Game 56, it was a peaceful day at Battlewood Boulevard until I went on a murder spree. This guy almost killed me here. I think if he hit one more bullet, I would have been a dead man. Nearing the final circle, I made this guy punch his monitor by using the lock-on rifle. Later, there were 2 other guys left. I got in a fight with one and took him down. Eventually, the last guy had to come to me, and I cracked his shields, which told me he was low. I jumped down and sprayed him down. I then finished him for the win. Game 57, I got a few bot kills and then died because I had a pump shotgun with no SMG. Game 58 was somehow shorter than the last. I did get 3 kills, but I fumbled a lot while fighting this guy and died. Game 59, I dropped Latte Landing with a couple of kills. A lot later in the game, I fought this guy whose dad works at TELUS. Oh, and he had 13 kills and a mythic shotgun. Game 60, I dropped Tip Top Terrace and was playing like an idiot. I died to a bot. Game 61, I was on a hot air balloon and was missing snipes. Yeah man, stand there while I shoot you, that's a good strategy. Godzilla's got nothing on me. Later I was at a gas station and this guy was actually good at the game. Game 62, I got some good stuff, but this man had a legendary shotgun. Game 63, while I was shooting this guy, another guy sniped me in the head. I obviously didn't live much longer. Game 64, I killed some guys that were standing still. Seriously, why does this happen? I walked on top of a roof and there was a man there waiting for me. Game 65, I hired a bot and my first real encounter was not a good one. This guy rushed me, I missed a lot of shots, and in one final desperation, I pump shotgunned him in the head, but it wasn't enough. Game 66, I killed a guy who is really good with a pistol. I got a few more kills until I fought this guy, and he's just better. Game 67, back in squads with Noah, Easton, and now Nixon. Again, you can hear all 3 of them in game. Sorry about that. We got into a big fight, but we came out on top. Yeah, drive a van straight at me. See how that works out. Look at this kill. He was so far away. I also killed a man trying to hide in a tree. We got into a big fight, but I had the mythic twin shotguns, so we eliminated all of them. It was a 4v1, and it's almost impossible to lose, especially when he has to run towards us. Game 68, I got a tip for when you drop Sandy Strip. Land on the big purple diamond and then jump off. You land faster and won't take any fall damage. Noah was knocked, but I steamrolled everybody until I was picking up a gun and then got lasered. Nixon was dead, but we killed Brutus and I got the Chug Jug. Noah died to fall damage and Nixon was killed while I was running towards them. We took down most of them, but another squad came and we soon died. Game 69, we're playing trios with Easton and Castiel. The game was updated, so now there are blue locations and the OG Rift anomaly. I opened 2 OG chests and got 2 purple infantry rifles. Castiel died, and then Easton died too. I killed one, built up, and the other guy was coming up. He got into my box, but I clutched and killed him too. I revived Easton and got Castiel's reboot card, and by this point I had really good loot. We rebooted Cass and got some kills. This guy was trying to escape. I killed him, but apparently I hit the black orb and it killed me and Castiel. A team came for us while I was healing. Castiel died. Easton died, and then I died too.
What?
10 kills, I
Okay.
didn't have a
It's
chance.
fine.
Stupid big black ball. Game
you
70,
can
back to squads. We were all
Let me get
knocked
you. Let
early
me get
besides Noah, who revived
Hold up.
Easton and Nixon, but I was
Impossible,
finished.
please.
Yeah, we were destroyed. Game 71, we killed Bigfoot, and late into the game we got into a big fight. I got 3 of the 4 kills. Later the storm was coming and one guy knocked Easton, Noah, and Nixon. I barely killed him, and luckily he dropped 3 medkits. I revived Easton and Noah, although Noah didn't make it out, and when I did, I was shredded to 5 HP. I later was running out and was 1 cap. I tried to use the self-revive, but you can't use it when you're on the building menu. I didn't know that, so I died. Easton had a legendary scar and was doing pretty good, but when push comes to shove, a lock-on will kill you when you're flying. Game 72, Nixon's gone, so we're in trios. I was lagging terribly and died. Of course, we lost. Game 73 was still laggy. Yep, 1000 ping. Eventually, I lagged out. We didn't win either. Game 74, no more lag, and I'm back to solos. This was probably the fastest death out of the 100 games. Game 75, I got some good loot, and in the final circle, I was camping. This guy got real close and almost killed me, but I escaped. Although it was all in vain, as I died in the final circle. Game 76 was another quick one. After I killed Bigfoot, some annoying guy lasered me and chased me down. Game 77, the first noteworthy event was the OG anomaly. I got a blue scar and a blue minigun. I bet you haven't seen those in old Fortnite. Also, one of the chests just gave me nothing. In the final circle, I had no movement items and had to move down a hill, and so I died. Ah, a legendary scar and 12 kills. Game 78, early on I had good loot, but not good skill. Game 79, I was being an idiot, and you could probably guess the outcome. Game 80, I left 4 fields with good loot, but this guy assassinated me. Game 81 was yet another quick one. I was shredded by that stupid lightning gun. Game 82, by this point my spirit was down. I needed a win. I looted Bumpy Bay and got a good shotgun from this vending machine. I was driving around nearing the final circle, mostly just chilling. I was being stealthy and then I assassinated this guy. He probably swore at his TV after this one. In the final circle I had really good loot and killed this guy who was hiding behind a tree. He had materials he could have built. Anyways, it was a 1v1. I jumped down and sprayed him with an SMG for the win. This one felt good, I have to say. Game 83 had a fantastic start with a few kills and a really good SMG. Later I got a double kill, and in the final circle I was watching the last 2 guys fight. I ran in to kill one but had to flee. Me and the last guy got into a build battle. He eventually got close and we fought at point blank. I knocked him, but I fell off the structure in panic, so he got off the self-revive. We traded blows and I got down to 16 HP. I tried to spray him down, but he got me. I was frustrated after that, to say the least. Game 84, let's just get this one over with. I had really good loot, but for some reason I only used my pistol. And you're probably not gonna win if you're using a pistol. Game 85, I'm in squads with Easton, Castiel, and Noah. I was using the lightning gun and was knocked for it. It sucks. Eventually, it was just Easton left, and that's rarely winnable. Game 86, we dropped at a blue location, and all I got was a glass of juice. Hey bro, I was pooping! Yeah, we didn't live much longer. Game 87, I got some really good stuff, but when a guy came, he killed Easton and built really well. I tried to revive Easton. I don't know why. There were like 3 guys around me. You already know it! Game 88, back to trios. Noah's gone. Castiel was knocked and I came to save him, but I'm not the hero of the story. While this guy was reviving his teammate, Easton and Castiel took him down. Another guy came and finished me, but Easton came in clutch again. I was rebooted and eventually got decent loot. A 3v2, our advantage, although Castiel was in the storm and there was a guy in there who killed him. While I was shooting him, Easton was sniped and finished in about 5 seconds. It's crazy how fast the tides can turn in this game. I killed one of them, but the other guy was really good at the game.
Good try.
Hey, thanks, Easton. Game 89, now it's duos with Cass. Castiel died and I went to avenge him. I knocked one, but I'm pretty sure he self-revived. I left alive, but so did they. I drove a reboot van to a safe place and rebooted Cass. In the final circle, I told Cass to be laid back, but he couldn't help himself but to go fight people. And whoever lives by the gun, dies by the gun. This guy made the mistake of using the elytra. His teammate revived him, but I knocked him again. The storm was brutal, and for some reason I thought it'd be smart to jump down this waterfall. I was trapped down there and died in the storm. Game 90, we're in zero build. We had some fun running over children with our van. We got a lot of kills. I got 10, that's quite a few. A 2v2, but they had the high ground. Cass got knocked, they came down the hill and wiped us out. Game 91. No more screwing around, it's the final 10 games. Anyways, I started screwing around. On the spawn island, I found my doppelganger. I tracked him down and killed him in the real game. Sure, I had good loot, but not good skill. Game 92 was another really close one. When it was a 1v1, I almost got him, but he got me first. Game 93. It was the Love and Legends Power Hour event, or whatever it's called. During this hour, everyone starts with a self-revive and a legendary lightning gun. You probably could have guessed I didn't win. I'm not good with that lightning gun. Game 94, I died really early, again. I did not like this event, to be frank. Game 95, no more Power Hour event, and I'm in duos with Matt. I'm pretty sure we just got a bunch of bot kills, at least until we encountered this duo, and we took him out. Wow, man, that boss emblem really helped him there. This guy knocked Matt, but I knocked him. I eventually revived Matt, but he didn't even make it out of the storm. It was a 1v2, and he got in my box and took me down. TTV your mom thick, no wonder I lost. Game 96, I landed with bad loot and was punished for it. Matt did reboot me, but it was in vain. I only had a gray pistol, but I didn't even hit him once before dying. Matt tried to escape his imminent death, but failed. It's just like real life. Game 97, it was a gold rush and we destroyed this whole building. The NPCs that can upgrade your guns for gold are really good. I went from 2 blues to 2 oranges. 2 guys came. I don't know where Matt was going and they sandwiched me, so all those upgrades were for nothing. I got rebooted and we were playing the stealth game. We assassinated one guy, but this guy had an OG pump shotgun. Matt wasn't winning this. Game 98. Matt died early. I got his reboot card and was running for my life. What is this? New York City? I guess it really was like New York City. Game 99. I thought this guy was a bot. Turns out he has 3 Fortnite girlfriends. He tried to use Stealth Splash, but that stuff is barely ever useful. Richard and Matt Coe demolished another house, free of charge. We were driving a race car and this cutscene popped up. I don't know what this is, but hey, it gave us OG loot. I got the drum gun, but I didn't get to use it. Matt insisted we killed these guys, he died, and then my car exploded. Game 100. For the final game, we dropped Clawsy Lodge. We got into a fight with this duo, and we jumped down and killed them. Yep, great strategy. Sit in the water while I shoot you. We killed another guy at the gas station. He stole my Slurpee. Nearing the final circle, I shot this boss once, and I got the kill. We ran into a duo who both used the lightning gun. We almost died, but we escaped. I can't imagine we would have survived there if they used a real gun. I was at low health and broke these slurp barrels. They were important as right here I got down to 1 HP. Thankfully Matt had medkits and I healed back up. We snuck around the circle and opened this chest and got Stealth Splash. We ziplined up, but it was a bad idea as Matt was knocked and they started shredding me, and then Matt died to the storm. By this point I was frantically building to survive. I was running away and got down to 11 HP. I used my last Stealth Splash and waited for the last 2 guys to fight. And when one of them died, I creeped around until the storm made me run. He was right there, and I shot him for the win. We freaked out after I won this game. This game was probably the craziest out of all of the 100 games. There it is, all 100 games of Fortnite. You can see the stats on screen right now. I got 19 wins, 6 of which were solos. The total amount of kills me and my team collected was 718, 362 of which were mine. Recording these 100 games was really fun, and if you haven't played Fortnite in a while, now's a good time to hop on. I'll definitely be doing another 100 games of Fortnite video, although it may not be what you expect, but stay tuned for it. Remember to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and hey, why not subscribe if you enjoy my content? Alright, that'll be it for the video. Thanks for watching, and as always, God bless.